You've been staring at the same spot for a long time now, waiting for something to appear, for the clouds to part, for the answer to just arrive. But nothing comes. You try harder, push more, think deeper, stay busy. Because maybe if you do enough, something will finally click. But what if it's not about trying harder? What if the reason you feel lost is because you're looking in the wrong direction? Not outward, not forward, but inward. This isn't failure. This isn't being stuck. It's a call, a quiet, persistent call to turn around, to face what you've been avoiding, to see not where you're going, but where you're coming from. Maybe the compass isn't broken. Maybe it's just pointed at a place you've never dared to go. And maybe that place is you. You tell yourself you're just tired, that it's the weather, that it's just a phase. But deep down, you know, this is more than a phase. You feel it in the quiet moments when no one's asking anything from you. That dull ache in your chest, the way your breath gets stuck halfway, the way the days blur into each other. You keep going, of course. You show up, smile, deliver, because you've learned how to look fine even when you're unraveling inside. But what if this isn't falling apart? What if it's falling inward, into a space you've never visited? A place beyond noise, beyond plans. A place where the answers aren't waiting ahead of you. They're behind the questions you're afraid to ask. You're not failing. You're not broken. You're just being called back, not to a destination, but to direction. Not to more, but to meaning. You've done everything right, checked every box, followed every step, and yet you feel more lost now than ever before. You scroll through advice, you journal, you meditate, but nothing sticks. Every path you try seems to fade the moment you step on it. Every goal you reach feels empty the moment you touch it. You start to wonder if the problem is you asterisk, if maybe you're just not built for this. But that's the lie. The real crisis isn't that you don't have direction. It's that you've spent your whole life following someone else's. You've been trained to move, to achieve, to climb, to conquer, but never to pause, to question, to turn around. And so, you keep running forward, hoping clarity waits just over the next hill, never realizing it's been behind you all along. If this resonates, don't just scroll, subscribe, hit the bell, and let's walk this path inward together. Then, it happens. Not a breakthrough, not a sign in the sky, just something shifts. You're sitting in the same place, same room, same chaos. But something feels different. A single sentence in a book, a stranger's glance, a random whisper in your head. What if you're not lost, just misaligned? Asterisk. You pause. For the first time in forever, you pause. And in that pause, you hear it. Not a voice, but a knowing. Something that doesn't yell, doesn't convince, doesn't even try. It just says, turn around. Asterisk. Not physically, not geographically, but spiritually. Turn inward. Turn to the space you've ignored. The one inside you that's been waiting, patiently. It doesn't offer a plan. It offers presence. And in that presence, a kind of peace you didn't know you were allowed to feel. Imagine this. You're walking through a dense forest. Branches claw at your arms. The path beneath you is unclear, shifting, uncertain. You keep pushing forward because you were told that's the only way out. One direction, one goal. Keep moving. But something makes you stop. Not fear, not fatigue, just curiosity. You look around and realize there's a break in the trees, a small clearing behind you. You step back, just a few steps, and suddenly, light. Not because the forest changed, but because you changed direction. You weren't lost. You were just staring at shadows. Sometimes, clarity doesn't come from pushing forward, but from stepping back. And in that tiny clearing, bathed in sunlight, you finally see it. You've been searching for yourself in the wrong place, and you were never gone. You were just facing the wrong way. You stand in that clearing, the sun warming your skin, your breath finally steady. For the first time in a long while, you're not moving. You're just being. No map, no urgency, just presence. And slowly, you begin to notice how heavy your shoulders had become, how tight your jaw was, how long you've been bracing for something that never came. You exhale, deep, full. something leaves you, the weight of trying, the noise of chasing, the belief that if you just kept going, everything would fix itself. But what if fixing isn't the point? What if you were never meant to be fixed, but to be asterisk found asterisk? You open your hands, let go of the stories, the titles, the timelines, and as they fall, you rise, not above yourself, but asterisk into asterisk yourself, more whole, more here, more real than you've ever allowed yourself to be. And then it clicks, not like a thunderbolt, not with fanfare or fireworks, but with silence, sacred and still. You realize you were never broken, you were misdirected, following maps that weren't drawn for your heart. You were taught to measure life in milestones, degrees, promotions, applause, but no one taught you how to feel at home in your own breath. And now, for the first time, you're not chasing, you're not fixing, you're not even searching, you're asterisk seeing. Asterisk. You see that clarity doesn't come from the outside, not from another post, another plan, another person. It comes when you stop looking asterisk out there, asterisk, and begin looking asterisk in here. Because being lost wasn't your failure. It was your invitation, an invitation to realign, to remember, to return, not to where you were, but to who you've always been. And in that moment, the path doesn't appear. Asterisk you asterisk do. So you sit here now, not as someone who figured it all out, but as someone who's finally okay with not knowing. You're no longer rushing to fix the path. You're allowing yourself to walk it, slowly, honestly, fully. And in that shift, you don't just find direction. You find asterisk permission. Asterisk. To pause, to breathe, to listen, to look not just ahead, but around, to see not just goals, but growth, to measure not just distance, but depth. You begin to understand that being lost isn't a curse. It's a clue, a signal that something deeper is calling. Not to find something new, but to asterisk, remember asterisk, something true. And now that you've turned around, now that you've seen what's been waiting for you all along, maybe, just maybe, what if the only reason you felt lost was because the real you had been trying to get your attention all along?